In the dim heart of Blackvale, 1892, a name echoed through every gallery and gossiping parlour: Alastair Harrow, the man whose paintings could breathe. His portraits were said to hold more than likeness. They shimmered with something alive, something watching. But Alastair's genius came at a terrible cost. His muse, Eleanor Harrow, was his wife, frail, beautiful, and slipping away from the world one cough at a time. He refused to let death take her. He swore she would live forever, not in heaven, not in memory, but in colour and canvas. Night after night, he painted her beneath the pale light of their dying fire. His hands trembled as he mixed shades of ivory and crimson, whispering her name with every stroke. The walls smelled of turpentine and sorrow. Outside, the rain never stopped. By the seventh night, Eleanor's breaths had grown shallow, her skin ghostly white. Still, he painted. He painted as her eyes closed. He painted as her heartbeat faded. And when silence filled the room, his brush kept moving, frantic, desperate, unstoppable. When dawn came, the masterpiece stood complete. Eleanor, smiling gently, her eyes glistening as if she knew every secret he'd ever hidden. It was perfect, too perfect. He hung the painting above her coffin, whispering, "You'll never leave me now, my love." Then the candle beside it flickered, and from her painted cheek, a single drop of red slid down, slow, deliberate, falling onto the wood below. Alastair froze. His heart pounded. He reached out, trembling, to touch it. But when his finger brushed the trail of crimson, it was warm. Outside, thunder rolled. Inside, Eleanor's painted eyes seemed to move. Just a fraction, just enough to follow him as he stumbled back in horror. No one saw Alastair Harrow again after that night, but the neighbours swore, long after he vanished, they could still see light flickering in the window, and hear a man whispering softly, "Smile for me, Eleanor, please, just once more." After Alastair's disappearance, the house on Blackvale Hill stood silent for years. Windows boarded, doors chained, yet sometimes neighbours swore they saw flickering light inside. Those brave enough to peek through the cracks spoke of a faint heartbeat echoing from within, like something alive trapped in the walls. When the authorities finally entered, they found no body, only the portrait hanging in the same place, untouched by time. The paint still wet, the eyes still watching. Rumours spread quickly. They said Alastair had mixed Eleanor's ashes into the pigment, binding her spirit to the canvas itself. Superstition turned to obsession. Wealthy collectors whispered about the Harrow painting, said to bring visions, inspiration, and unholy fortune to whoever owned it. The first collector bought it for a small fortune and hung it in his study. That night, he woke to the sound of footsteps pacing behind him, but no one was there. By morning, he was found hanging from the rafters. His eyes were gone. The second owner, a woman of high society, claimed she heard a voice whispering her name through the walls. Each night it grew louder, until one evening, she vanished entirely. Only her shoes were left at the foot of the portrait. When the third collector disappeared, the legend became undeniable. They said the painting feeds on those who admire it, draining life from every soul that gazes too long. Dealers stopped trading it. Museums refused to display it. The portrait was cursed, passed secretly from hand to trembling hand, until no one dared claim it at all. And so it slept, locked away in a dusty attic, wrapped in black cloth. But even through the covering, faint red stains began to seep through the fabric, like blood that never truly dried. Decades passed, and the cursed painting was forgotten, or so people thought. But curses never die, they only wait. In 1953, the Blackvale Museum of Art reopened after years of renovation. Among the shipments of newly acquired artifacts lay a single, dust-covered crate with no record, no label, and no sender. When the curator, Margaret Wells, pried it open, the scent of turpentine and decay filled the air. Inside, wrapped in a rotting black cloth, she found the portrait of Eleanor Harrow. Even under the dust and cracks, the painting was mesmerizing. Margaret felt drawn to it, to the sadness in Eleanor's eyes, to the smile that seemed both loving and cruel. She convinced the board to restore it for public display. The restoration team worked day and night, peeling back layers of grime until the face beneath shone once more. But strange things began to happen in the studio. The temperature dropped, tools went missing, and one night, the restorer swore he saw the painted eyes blink. Margaret dismissed it as imagination, until she saw it herself. A faint shimmer of movement, a subtle twitch of the lips, and then, a tear. A single red drop formed beneath the painted eye and fell onto the table below, staining the restoration cloth. Terrified yet fascinated, Margaret wiped the tear away. The fabric sizzled where it touched. She didn't notice. She only stared, trembling, at the painted face that now seemed almost alive. When the portrait was finally unveiled, crowds gathered to see the infamous Harrow masterpiece. Flashbulbs popped and whispers filled the gallery. The painting looked peaceful, too peaceful. That night, long after the museum closed, Margaret returned alone to check the display. The halls were silent. The security lights flickered. The portrait stared back at her, eyes glimmering faintly red. She reached out to adjust the frame, her fingers brushing the painted cheek. A sudden warmth pulsed beneath the surface, like a heartbeat. She gasped. The glass fogged with breath, her breath from inside the frame. And as she stumbled back, she saw it, her own reflection beside Eleanor's face. But her reflection was smiling. When morning came, the museum doors remained locked. No one could reach Margaret Wells. Security footage showed her entering the gallery at midnight, but she never came out. Guards broke in hours later. The portrait still hung in its place, spotless, perfect, and strangely vibrant under the cold museum lights. Margaret's clipboard lay on the floor. Her notes ended mid-sentence. The eyes, they're moving. As investigators reviewed the cameras, they found only static during the final hours. But within the static, a faint image flickered, Margaret's reflection trapped inside the frame, screaming silently. They sealed the gallery that same day, wrapping the painting once again in black cloth. It was moved to the basement archives, where no visitor would ever see it again. Yet, every month on the night of the full moon, the museum staff reported the same thing, a single drop of red seeping from beneath the cloth, and a woman's whisper echoing faintly through the halls. "Please, finish me." Years passed. The museum was abandoned, its walls overtaken by vines and silence. But deep below, in the locked archives, the painting still waited. Its colors no longer faded. They pulsed, alive and restless. Eleanor's face glowed faintly through the fabric, her smile sharper now, almost predatory. And on certain nights, when the moonlight hit just right, two faces could be seen behind the cracked glass, Eleanor's and Margaret's. They say the painting no longer weeps, it no longer hungers, because now it has someone new to feed it, someone who knows exactly how to keep its beauty alive.